The video for intervals of increasing and decreasing with relative max and min assume that you already know how to do certain things on your graphing calculator. So this video is to kind of remind you of some of those features that you're going to need to know how to use on your graphing calculator. So the first thing we're going to do is turn it on and go to y equals, and we're going to put in our polynomial function. For this one, I'm just going to do negative x to the fourth minus x to the third plus 4x squared minus 3. Now, when you put in a negative, you have to make sure you use this one. This is only for subtraction, so this has to be in between two terms. If the first term is negative, you need to use this button. So this would be negative x to the fourth minus x to the third. So now we're in between terms, so I'm going to use this one, minus x to the third plus 4x squared minus 3. So here's my polynomial, so I'm going to graph it to see what it looks like. Looks like this. In the next video, we're going to talk about relative max and min. This right here would be the maximum of the function. This is the absolute highest point on the function. This one would be considered a relative max because it is the maximum relative to the area around it. So in this immediate area, this little point right here is the relative max. For the purpose of this class and what we're doing with these, we're not really going to treat those differently. I just want you to be aware that in future classes, there will be a difference between the max and the relative max, and the same thing with the min. So now we're going to talk about how to find the actual max and mins for our graphing calculator. So we're going to go to calc. Calc is right here above the trace. So to get there, we're going to push second calc. And the first thing we're going to do is a maximum. So we're going to do 4 for maximum. And it says left bound. We need to pick a point that is to the left of our max. So we're working with this point right here. So I'm going to use my arrows until I get that little flashy guy to the left of my max. So now that I'm on the left, I'm going to hit enter. And then it says right bound. I need to pick a point that is to the right of my max. And hit enter. Then it says guess. I need to pick a point somewhere in between those. So my job is to guess about where I think the max is. So I hit enter, and now it spits out some numbers. So it tells you the max is at negative 1.838 and y is 5.3096. We are going to round all of our answers to the nearest tenth, so our max is going to be at negative 1.8, comma 5.3, and that number should be in parentheses. That's a coordinate. That's saying from the origin, we would go left 1.8 and up 5.3. So now we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to find the min. So you would do second and then calculate. This time it's a min, so we're going to do 3. Works the same way. Left bound, I need to pick some point that's to the left. Hit enter. Some point to the right. Hit enter. And then I'm going to guess about where I think it is. And this one is at 0, negative 3. Now sometimes, depending on how you calculate it, where you pick your points, I'm going to try to do this one a little bit differently. It can change the way it spits out the answer. So here I didn't quite get a very good guess, and so the way that it calculates it, it says that it's at 2.0543 e to the negative 6. This is times 10 to the negative 6, so this is really 0.00000. When you see an e in the answer, do not copy this down. Do not tell me it's at 2.1. When you look at this, this is clearly not over 2.1. Anytime you see an e, that is going to be a 0. So make sure you put 0 anytime you see an e. So now that you can calculate the relative max and the relative min using your graphing calculator, that should be enough for you to go on to the next video.